Clone is one of the most influential artists in our underground, and being influential is gonna bring you clones. Now, most of the clonery, that's what we're gonna call it, depends on the artist. There's no doubt that these artists have been inspired by Destoy Lonely. From his aesthetic, to his sound, to his type beats, Lone definitely has clones. Dom Corleo has had previous experience cloning other popular artists, such as the GOAT himself, Reno. His sound used to have word-for-word similarities to Reno's, and fans used to point it out on the Reddit, and he also got clowned for getting called a clone. Unfortunately though, due to decreases in our budget, we're not going to be able to show the song. Regardless if he was cloning or not, his flow and delivery got better song by song, and it didn't even matter if he was cloning or not because he was dropping great music. Dom just took an opportunity given to him and saw how one of the largest audiences in the underground favored Destoy Lonely. He's honestly started distancing himself from the lone sound that arguably blew him up, and it's not what he's doing right now, and it wasn't the summer sound that blew him up either. In all honesty, it was the penthouse shorty sound that blew him up, and he's not even doing that either right now. That's the two that most get compared over, and I don't even hear the similarities myself, I'm not gonna lie. He even tried the Chief Keef sound, and I gotta give it to Dom. He's really good at replicating whatever sound he decides to do. Another person who sounds very similar to Lone with delivery and beat selection is Rolling Thrax. Thrax rose to prominence with his song Yeah that got a remix from Tana last year. The fact that some underground pages were referring to Thrax as Lone should say a lot. Songs such as Untouchable and Invasion have similar cadences and beat selection to Lone, however none of them really got traction like Yeah did. I'm not hating on him because when I was researching this video, I found one of his most recent tapes, and I'm not gonna lie, Business Professional has been on my playlist for a little while. Ironically, on that same tape, most of the people that you're gonna see in this video were on there. 3 Lone clones appeared in this tape. Now when we say clone, I'm not talking about outright cloned them and stole his style. I'm just saying that they were heavily influenced, so get that straight now. Southside Sillouhette is one of the only clones who hasn't really had a song that gained traction yet, and I didn't really know who he was before this video. But after listening to a few songs, he most definitely bit Lone. From song titles to album covers and even, music, you can definitely spot the similarities between the two artists. Ironically, he was also found present on that tape I was talking about earlier with the other Lone clones, and he was one of the ones I was saying in question. Another clone who's not really a clone but's definitely inspired would be Hardrock. Second to Dom himself, I'd say that he's the most well known on this list. He has a lot of songs that's gained traction since Roar XD, and he has a lot going for himself, I'm not gonna lie. The sound that he's attempting now is evolving and changing, and it doesn't sound much like Lone, but when he was coming up you could hear it in his voice. The earlier stuff is where the comparisons come from. There were times where people said their vocal inflection sounded the same, and songs such as God's Hand had a pre-no stylist feel to it. That exact song got him recognized, in fact, by Babalam, and that might not be a good thing in some cases, but this time it was.
Who is this Hardrock character y'all keep saying? God Hands.
But there isn't enough similarities to outright call him a clone since he sounds like Young Thug sometimes, so I'd mainly say the beat selection is the thing that gets him called a clone. The most devious and outright cloning has to come from Vampleek. Him and Dom are the only ones on this list that I just give the check mark to. He has the voice, the aesthetic, and the style, and if you turned on Leek for a casual fan, they wouldn't be able to tell the difference. The only thing that's really missing is the mop head dreads. The funny part in all this isn't even his first time biting somebody from the Opium label. His current artist name is Lifeless Garments, but it used to be Vampleek from when he used to bite Carti. He went from being a Carti clone to a Lone clone in less than a year, even changing his name from Vampleek to Lifeless Garments to match Lone's aesthetic. The comparisons were getting so bad that in an interview he literally addressed it and said that he was a better rapper than Carti and he could never clone him. Yeah, okay.
Sound like Carti. And that's one of my main influences, but at the end of the day, I feel like I can rap better than him, and some of my flows are completely different from his.
Leek is more known for his beats with people than his actual music, such as the one with Space Ghost Perk where he cracked his laptop. Apparently he scams his fans too, the little amount of fans he has, but that's SoundCloud 101, so it doesn't really matter. Out of all the people on this list, he's the most obvious and the biggest clone. Lone is really influential, and these artists clearly took inspiration from him. I'm not outright calling them clones, but the factory has to work in order for people to have jobs.